Welcome to Living in Raleigh. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Living in Raleigh.
I'm Whitney.
And I'm Davis. Being Raleigh natives, and I'm a parent of 3 little boys.
I'm a parent of 2 little girls.
We're gonna be talking about parks and playgrounds in the area,
as well as access to healthcare, access to shopping options, grocery stores, and then we'll also be talking about daycares and schools that are local to the area.
Let's go ahead and dive in.
Welcome to Living in Raleigh.
I'm Davis Holt.
I'm Whitney Greenway.
And we're here to help you
find your place
in the triangle.
All right, so I don't know about you, but a lot of time on the weekends, we spend that at the playground and the parks. I don't know if you know this, but there's actually 200 parks in the area. What are your favorite parks to go to with the kids?
So some of our favorites are definitely gonna be Pool and Park. We love taking the kids to Pool and Park. They love to be able to ride the train and do the little rowboats that they have out there. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. So we love going to Pool and Park. That's an awesome one. I feel like it's like a Raleigh staple, so you have to go there. What about y'all? What are some of your favorites?
Well, where we are now, Laurel Hills, this is definitely a favorite of the family. And my kids always say, I want to go to the big playground, I want to go to the big playground. We spend most weekends out here, so I'm sure if you come by, you'll see us here at some point on the swings. But this is definitely like a mainstay for our family.
Yeah, and I feel like there's so many parks in the Raleigh area. Like you talked about, I didn't know there was 200, but it feels like everywhere you go, there are parks all over the place, and they're continuing to build them here in the area too.
Exactly.
What's the one near Dick's that's being built? The Awesome Kids Playground, the Gibson Park, I think?
Yes, that's right. And I think that's supposed to open up in June.
Yeah.
And that will definitely be one of the first places we go when that opens up, because I know the kids will absolutely enjoy it.
It looks absolutely incredible, and it's going to be like a mainstay of that area.
Another place that we really enjoy going to is the North Carolina Museum of Art.
Yeah.
It's not, we don't technically go in the museum very often, but we spend a lot of time outside. We take scooters, picnics, things like that, and the kids absolutely love it.
I love that one. Another one that we love is Lake Johnson in Raleigh. It's like almost a 3-mile trail around the lake, and the kids can go see the water and see all the fish in it. But then also, if you just like want to go for a run and feel like you're kind of away, and also what's really nice at Lake Johnson is it has a lot of shade, which we don't have right now, but there's a lot of shade at Lake Johnson, so it's really nice too.
And speaking of Lake Johnson, another great park is Umstead Park. It's great even if you don't have kids. There's a lot of trails in there, a lot of good hiking opportunities. The kids love it as well, just because it's a ton of space to run and get them worn out before bedtime. But yeah, it's a wonderful place to go with your family or even alone.
Umstead's crazy too, because it's so big. You can literally be in Cary and get into Umstead, or you can be in North Raleigh and get into Umstead. It's kind of crazy how that is.
It is.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I know you and your family are really involved in Raleigh Parks and Rec. Tell me kind of what you guys do with that and what it means to your family.
There's so many different options here. If you want to get into sports as a kid, or if you want to look at different cultural activities, the Parks and Rec department in all of the towns in Wake County have really good options. I'm trying to even find a 35 and older men's basketball league, and you can find anyone who wants to play with me.
I'll do some recruiting.
Yeah, so that would be great. But yeah, so there's just so many options, and I think that just helps families be able to make connections in the area as well. Like as if you move into the area, you don't know anybody, what's the best way to make a connection? On a team, right? And so there's some really good options around town to be able to do that.
That's awesome. Yeah, you get to kind of create your own community, if you will. And I've also heard with Raleigh Parks and Rec, they have some amazing summer camps. I don't have kids yet that are old enough for that, but I've heard it's like a very lucrative thing to try to score one of those programs.
You're so spot on. I know there's like literally competitive wait lists to try to get into like some of these summer camps. Yeah, I think that's a really cool option. But the other thing is like there's a YMCA in every single town. They've got a ton of different options. So there's just a lot of places that people have the option to be able to send their children or be able to go and make connections outside of like their 9 to 5, whatever their job is. Especially these days, I feel like everybody working from home, to be able to have options to send kids to camp, to meet friends and all of that is just huge.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do any of your sports Parks and Rec records still hold up today?
Do you have Parks and Rec records?
I mean, I did hit a home run on every field at West Raleigh, and I think I'm the only guy to ever do that, so I don't want to brag.
The biggest 10-year-old in Wake.
I was this size at 10.
That's hilarious. Do they actually have awards? Like, are you somewhere for it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I won the sportsmanship award, and my trophy was like this big.
Jeez.
I didn't even know.
I didn't know that.
I don't want to brag, but
30 years later.
I'm sure my mom has the trophy somewhere.
That's funny. So having kids, you know, it's incredibly hard to get into daycare. I feel like people are on the wait list before they're even pregnant. I'm like, how is this allowed? Yeah. But it's very competitive in the Raleigh area. And I think from one of the stats that we looked at, the average cost of daycare is around $1,100 to $1,200 a month for one child. So, you know, you add that plus multiple children, it adds up really quickly.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I feel that number fully. I feel that number completely with 3 in daycare. Yeah, I fully understand that. But yeah, I mean, but we're also so lucky because there's so many different options here in the area. I mean, I feel like there's a daycare on every corner and they're building more of them. I know, like, personally for us, like, our daycare was probably second or third to find out that we were having a third, you know? So it's like, yeah, that's a real thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would recommend too, especially when you're looking into daycares, the importance of touring those places. I mean, I think I signed up for 5 different tours. I only made it to 2 because I liked the second one best. But it wasn't until you actually get in the place where you're like, I don't know if this is for me. You're like, yeah, I see my kids here.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where you're like, I don't even know what I'm looking for, and then you get there and you're like, oh, that's what I'm looking for.
Or know what I'm not looking for.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. You know, like when our boys started daycare, though, it was COVID, so we were just like, here you go.
Please
but no, I think exploring daycares, and I think another thing that gets lost in that is like, too, the commute to daycare for people matters a lot, right? Like the proximity to your house. So like as you're kind of house hunting, being sure that there are decent options nearby, I think plays a role, because you don't want to be commuting an hour to the daycare and then it's just going to be miserable for everybody.
You do not want to be driving home from daycare for an hour. It's a long time for the kids to sit in the car when they've already been exhausted.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I think as people kind of house hunt, they got to factor those kinds of things in, and we're lucky there are a lot of options around.
Absolutely.
All right, so I know you guys got a couple more, another year or so?
Another year, yes.
So, but we're getting ready for our first 2 boys to go into kindergarten, and man, I didn't really know the whole school thing, but it is a real thing trying to find the right fit here in the Triangle area, because we have so many options.
We do. We have magnet schools, charter schools, public, private, Montessori. There's hybrid schools, homeschool. Like, just the opportunities are just kind of endless, which makes it a little bit stressful too, because it's like, where do I even begin?
And I think that's like, for us, we had to figure out like what matters to us and that kind of stuff, and like schedule. I didn't know about all the year-round options, and there are so many different types of options here in the Triangle area, and we're lucky in that sense. But again, it's kind of like daycare, where it's like, you know, I mean, ultimately the school that we chose for our boys, proximity was a huge decision in that. And so again, as people house hunt, I think they got to factor that stuff in. As you guys are kind of getting closer to that, what are your thoughts on searching for the right school and finding the right fit? And was that a factor?
Sometimes I wake up at night thinking about it, and I'm like, where do I send her to? But you know, it's funny you say that, because there are so many options that we're kind of leaning one way, and it's like, if it doesn't work, we have other options for the next year. So that's kind of nice. We're not just having one public school to choose from, or one private, one charter. It's kind of making me feel a little more free in that decision. And it's not going to, you know, kill the child for the first year, but it's just nice knowing there are always kind of a plan B if we need it. Yeah.
And I think one of the unique things that people who move into the area don't know is that our schools here are not done by towns, right? It's done by Wake County. And I think like up north, for example, a lot of the schools are town by town. So you could live in Raleigh, but maybe be going to a Cary school. And so, because we're done by the county, and I think that's unique, but again, that leads to the options, right? Where, like you said, like if the first one doesn't work out for whatever reason, there are other options available to you.
Peace of mind.
Yeah. Right. All right, wait. Guessing game.
No.
How many public schools in Wake County are there?
Maybe 150.
You looked. No, there's 199.
Oh my gosh, okay.
All right, how many private schools are there?
45.
45? No, there's 162 private schools in Wake County. Although I don't know about 100, that seems like a big number.
Seems like a lot,
but,
that seems like a lot. Or I definitely don't know 80% of those.
Yeah, but again, that goes back to like, there's something for everybody, right? Like if you have that many schools in a county, there's got to be an option for you.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, wait, I've got 3 young boys. You've got 2 young girls. Have you ever been to urgent care before?
Only like every other weekend.
Yeah.
It's one of our favorite places to go.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like the reality of having kids, right? It's like you're going to end up somewhere at some point with something.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, obviously we both fully understand that that's a reality of having kids, and we're here in Raleigh. across the street from the UNC Children's Urgent Care, and there's just so many good options here.
There really are. So there's a lot of different pediatricians' offices, specialist offices. In the Raleigh area too, I feel like there's a lot of clusters of those as well. So when you find a pediatrician's office, there's usually a specialist nearby, there's usually an urgent care nearby, usually a hospital. So you're pretty much covered with anything you could think of.
Yeah, and we're so lucky. I think we honestly don't even realize how lucky we are to have Duke and UNC hospitals like in our backyard. Like, I have helped people move to the Triangle area before just to have access to those hospitals. And one of the amazing things that's happening right now, which UNC and Duke working together is pretty rare, but they're coming together to form this huge children's hospital, and it's going to be North Carolina's first and only children's hospital.
Do you know where that's going to be located?
Yeah, so it sounds like they haven't fully made this announcement yet, but it sounds like it's going to be in Cary near Sass, which is not far from where we're at. And it's going to have easy access to the highway and be about 5 minutes away from the airport. So I think that's going to be a tremendous growth opportunity for Cary, but more importantly, the kind of care that children will receive from that is just
and
huge.
The convenience of it. You know, you're so close to the major highways there. Anybody can kind of get there within probably 20, 25 minutes.
And I didn't realize that we didn't have like a only children's hospital here in North Carolina.
So although we don't have that children's dedicated hospital just yet, one thing that is great about the area is that Wake Med has a children's emergency department. So fortunately we haven't had to use it yet, knock on wood, but it's a great place to go if you need that type of care.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know like at UNC and Duke, their pediatric departments have specialized care for different types of diseases someone may have, or you know, you don't want to ever see a kid have to go through that, but they do, and we're so lucky to have that in our backyard, and I think we just take that for granted, but it is a huge resource for people. But yeah, there are a lot of urgent cares in the area. We've only been a couple times so far, but it's a nice resource to have because it seems like kids tend to get sick at like 7 on a Saturday when no one's open.
10:30 at night, Sunday morning. Times where the pediatrician is not open. It's great to have just quick access to all the urgent cares. So now we're at one of my favorite places to go on the weekend, the North Carolina Museum of Art in this great park that we have here.
Yeah, this is amazing. I'm excited to be here and explore it because I don't really come here too often.
Oh yeah.
You've told me about it and I'm excited to see it, but you're right, we do have so many cultural kind of options here in the area and this is a really cool one.
Well, I'm going to take you to my favorite part.
Okay.
It's the musical swings.
You can kind of get going on these things.
I know.
Getting a little dizzy.
I know, isn't that weird? When you like don't swing for years and years? Dizzy?
Yeah.
Still dizzy?
What did you say?
So you're still dizzy? At least it's breezy. One thing that's great about the area is that if you live in Raleigh, everybody's about a mile away or less from a grocery store.
Yeah, I mean, I personally feel like I live in a Costco. So, yeah, I mean, it is really nice to have all the options. And one of the funny things too is like, as the area has grown, we've literally, I think we have every grocery store ever here in the area.
Yes.
I've never been, but people love a Wegmans, I guess.
I honestly have never been to Wegmans either. Yeah, I've heard it's great. And then you've obviously got Publix, Harris Teeter, Food Lion, and you've got some of the other, I think they're maybe German brands that have come in, but like an Aldi, Lidl.
Yeah, our family favorite is Costco.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to brag, but near our house is the largest Costco on the East Coast.
That's something to brag about.
Yeah, so we do spend a lot of time there.
Ours is definitely Harris Teeter because they have now brought back the sugar cookies.
Oh,
if you remember that.
nice.
So when COVID came around, they got rid of the sugar cookies, obviously, and they just started bringing them back like a few months ago. So that's really the only reason why we go as much as we do.
Beyond grocery stores too, like we've got.
We're coming to you live with breaking news.
In an unbelievable omission of facts, we failed to name the most prominent grocery store in the Triangle area.
Trader Joe's. With a cult-like following, the store cannot be forgotten.
Trader Joe's is everyone's favorite grocery store in the Raleigh area. If you have a child under 3, you've certainly been to Trader Joe's, unless you're Whitney, who apparently does not shop at Trader Joe's, and I don't do the grocery shopping at my house, which is why we failed to mention Trader Joe's. So apologies to Trader Joe's.
Apologies. And now back to your regular scheduled programming.
Beyond grocery stores too, like we've got all sorts of type of shopping for everybody. We've got the old school indoor malls that we used to love going to, like in middle school and stuff. And then, you know, like where our office is in Cary, Fenton, we've got beautiful shopping opportunities there. So we've got a mix of something for everybody between grocery stores and all the types of clothing and unique types of shopping experiences that somebody might need. Again, like we talked about proximity with schools and daycares and all of that, but you said everybody lives a mile away from a grocery store, but it is so true. Like if you can find a neighborhood, you will find a grocery store near that neighborhood in our area, which is super important. I think it's one of those things that just makes life easier.
Yeah, very convenient, especially with having families. I don't know about you, but I do grocery pickup, I think maybe 3 times a week. And I'm also probably doing multiple orders on one day. I'm sorry, Target. Yeah, the pickup orders make it a lot easier, especially when you have kids.
Yeah. Should we be swinging and then stop and say our outro and then start again?
Okay.
Wait, no, I don't.
I don't. I was just gonna say we could just swing. It's up to you.
Just swing?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
What am I saying? Do you want to say like and subscribe, or do you want me to say like and subscribe?
You say like and subscribe.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, Whit. Did you have fun today?
I had a blast. What about you?
Yeah, we didn't go to a skate park, but that's all right. We're on some swings now, so that's cool.
There you go.
Yeah, we hope this was helpful for you. And again, we help people just like you moving to the Raleigh area in the next 9 to 90 days, and we'd love to help you find your place in the Triangle.
And if you like videos like these, be sure to like and subscribe so you can catch out all the future content. It's making me dizzy.
I know.
Golly. Ooh.
My like quads hurt.
We did it.
Nice.
It's hot. Good?
He's still filming.
We're coming to you live with breaking news.
One more time.
Is that right or no?
Yeah, that was good.
All right.